All right, welcome to the Deferred to the Game show with our first episode,
Hey,
Bad Teams. With me today, my man, Yellow Tape, Tony, the man himself from the Talking Game podcast, one of the best sports guys going right now. Tony, how we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. I think this is one of my first introductions on someone's podcast, so I appreciate that.
You've usually been the facilitator of putting stuff together, so I want to put you on the back foot for real this time because I have given you almost no context for what's in this.
No, all you told me was, "Do you want to talk about bad baseball teams?" I said, "Yeah." You gave me the year and the team. All I did was a quick baseball reference. That was it. That's all. So this is going to be interesting for sure.
So we're talking about the 2011 New York Mets.
Yep.
And Tony, what around this time, in the couple years beforehand, like what was being a New York in general baseball fan like as a Yankee fan?
As a Yankees fan, we were coming. Well, for one thing, as a Yankees fan, we're spoiled. So we were
Mm,
quickly coming down from the high of 2009. Um, I kind of remember this being like a interesting time as a Yankees fan because oddly enough, our biggest adversary was the Orioles
right.
and like the Adam Jones teams and stuff. And I'm like, why can't we get past the stinking Orioles? But it always felt good to be better than the Mets. And we
Yes.
were still better than the Mets. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool, man. It was all right. We still had CC. We still had the gang, man. So it was cool. It was cool being a Yankees fan.
So a comparison I wanted to draw was New York is Orlando for baseball.
Okay. Okay.
Because on one hand, you have Disney, which is the
Yeah.
New York Yankees.
Okay. I see that.
2009, coming off of a World Series championship. This was still when the Yankees were big spenders, meeting the president, winning World Series MVPs with my GOAT, Hideki Matsui.
Ah, sound like my dad.
Man, Hideki's the GOAT. And this was the tail end of the golden era of Yankees baseball for people who are younger than 40.
Yeah,
Like
for
the
sure.
'09 the '09 chip was special.
Yeah, because oddly enough, like by 2009, I was older to like really understand sports more. And I realized that winning championships weren't anything that you just run off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like a part of me realized that A-Rod was getting older, Jeter was getting like some of these guys were getting older. So how is this going to work for us? And
right.
16 years later, it hasn't. But whatever. Okay, I don't want to talk
Well,
about
and in Orlando you have Disney, which is the big tourist attraction. A lot of people come to Orlando just to go to Disney.
it. Yep.
But also in Orlando, you have Universal Studios. So the Mets are
Right.
firmly the Universal Studios of New York baseball.
This is amazing.
A lot of people really like Universal Studios. Some might say that they like it even more, but it's firmly Universal in comparison to the Yankees Disney.
Oh my
And
God.
no more was this true than around the turn of the decade going into 2011.
This
You
is
know, the
amazing.
Mets were coming off of the '07 collapse where they went from 7 games ahead and lost that lead in 17 days.
Yeah. Which they might screw it up again this year, but go ahead.
It's a very timely episode for that reason, so we'll put a pin in that. This was the beginning of the lull Mets,
Oh yeah.
but this Mets team had some juice. Like up in the top right, you can see David Wright, Jose Reyes, Carlos Beltran. Like they had some things going.
Jose Reyes won the batting title in
Won a
2011.
batting title. David Wright, Captain America. Carlos Beltran, pre-Houston tenure, one of the most beloved people in baseball. And kind of like Universal, they just moved into Citi Field, which if we're just talking ballparks, like City Field is at least top five.
Yeah, for sure.
So like there's no like doubting like the Mets were putting together some good things.
Can I ask you something? And
What? What's up?
it's totally sidebar. I'm looking at David Wright. Is David Wright overrated, or does the Mets not have that much good history?
I think he's underrated actually.
Oh, that means the Mets don't have that much good history. All right, I just want to know. Just asking. Just asking.
Well, it's funny you should bring that up because I we do need to do just a brief history of the New York Mets.
See, you're leading me just perfectly into this, man.
Exactly. This is why you're the perfect person to have on.
Oh my
So,
God.
the New York Mets were founded when the Dodgers and the Giants left for California. The Mets were created in the vacuum. And early on, 1969, the Miracle Mets, 1986, when the white stuff was pure Mets. But
The last time they won, man, the
a-
crack era, the
after
crack.
86, it got a little shaky.
Yeah,
So you can see up in the very top center, Bobby Valentine, who came back into the dugout in disguise, if you remember that.
quote
He
unquote.
got he got ejected from the game and came back to the dugout with a fake mustache.
I want to go back and see, did they win that game?
I think they did
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Well, you know what? Congratulations. You did your job. You still coach your team to a win.
In the bottom kind of middle, you can see the Mets owner Fred Wilpon. This picture has kind of been memed into oblivion as kind of a summary of his tenure.
It looks about right. Mm.
And next to him, you can see Shohei Ohtani because although we think of the Dodgers as the deferred money people, this really did start with the Mets.
Yeah, it did. And that goes into your boy at the top.
Yes. So first, I want to touch on bottom right. That is Brett Saberhagen, who also gets paid every July 1st by the New York Mets.
What? No one talks about that. They only talk about Bobby B.
Bobby Bo is the big payday and the namesake of this channel and is my hero. But Brett Saberhagen actually gets paid on the same day, and he gets paid for almost as long as Bobby.
And how much does he get?
It's not as much as Bobby. That's why it's not publicized, but it's at least I think it's something like 400, 500 a year.
I, I can live off that.
Yep, exactly. I think
I
anyone
can
could
live
live
off
off it.
that. Like, let me get that.
And so this started kind of in the 19 late like mid to late 1990s into the 2000s, and this was a sound financial decision for the Mets at the time for a very specific reason that we'll talk about in a couple slides. But
I just feel myself going towards a pyramid, but I'm gonna let you continue.
yes, because the Mets were hooked up with an awesome investor. And we have to go a little bit east of Flushing, Queens to talk about this investor. We have to go to the Hamptons.
Hey, Madoff. Is that Diddy?
Yes, that is famed resident of the Hamptons, Puffy Combs,
Oh, it's just got freaky.
at the white party.
Oh,
And you can see up in the top left, that's downtown East Hampton, New York. I lived there for a brief period of time. It is one of the most opulent places on planet Earth. Cost of living out there is a little bit crazy. In the bottom right, you can see a very nice house, which is right on the shore of the Hamptons, right there on Long Island. And do you know who the man in the center is?
that is Bernie Madoff.
And Bernie Madoff was quite close with the Wilpons as well as the other owners of the New York Mets. And Fred Wilpon was right to trust Bernie at the time because his returns were amazing.
Yeah,
Bernie's returns were awesome. The investments that the Wilpons were making with Bernie would have paid off the Bobby Bo, Saberhagen, as well as any other deferred money, and then some. So, like at the time, this was a sound investment, so appreciated that the Mets actually made this jacket for Bernie Madoff.
Hey, you making me a bunch of money, millions upon millions of dollars. You can get a bomber jacket, bro.
I tried so hard to find a picture of Bernie Madoff and Fred Wilpon together, but I'm pretty sure that that has been scrubbed from the
Okay.
internet. So for a very specific reason that we have to talk about, because this was all going well until about 2008.
Well, hold on one second. Before we move forward, I didn't know my friend was loaded. Um, Deuce. Used to live in the Hamptons, big dog.
I sold roofing in the Hamptons. I was selling windows and doors. I was living out of a trailer in the yard.
Okay, okay. I got you.
I was fresh out of college and my company needed someone to manage that branch and I was like, "Shoot, I'll live in the Hamptons."
You better know it. You better know it. Okay, all right. Just wanted to know if you were somebody I need to hit up for a loan. You know, just, just
I would be if I didn't have to pay Hamptons rent.
I touche, my boy. Touche.
So in 2008, the economy functionally collapsed.
Booyah.
So, as Margot Robbie so perfectly explained in the movie The Big Short, the mortgages of millions of Americans were bundled together into investment vehicles that were then sold, which created an incentive for people to get mortgages out as quickly as possible with little consideration if they could pay, and with those nice adjustable rates that spiked the moment that 2008 hit. You can see up above some of the general reaction to the stock market on that day.
Losing a damn mind.
Yep. So Bernie was not necessarily affected by that because Bernie was running a Ponzi scheme.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. All right, Deuce. It's time for us to get real. It's
Yeah.
time for us to get real. Okay. Listen to me. I know people personally. You may know people personally, maybe not. So I'm gonna just speak for me that has done a lot of wrong,
Yep.
a lot less than $50 billion. Okay. $50 billion, I might be a crook too. I'm just being honest. Just be honest.
Yeah, Bernie was using the Ponzi scheme, and those returns that the Mets were making were actually the investments of regular people who had invested to try and capture some of this growth. And as much as this is funny because it happened to the Mets,
Yes.
there was a lot of economic harm done by Bernie Madoff, and a lot of people had their lives ruined. So I do want to acknowledge that
Yes.
before we get our yucks in at the expense of the Mets.
Yes. Yes. I am sorry. And no one should commit crime. No one should commit fraud and definitely ruin people's lives and retirements. I totally wrong. But I
Yeah,
but I still want to go back to say I know people who've done a lot worse for a lot less.
exactly. And ended up doing a lot more than Bernie did.
Also true. Also true.
So when you have a Ponzi scheme, it helps to have some high profile investors to provide legitimacy.
Yeah.
So you can see in kind of the Ponzi scheme schematic that they have there, there are a couple people who have money bags in their hands.
Yeah.
The Wilpons were one of those people. They actually did make a return on this scheme.
So how does that work? Like it depends on where you're at in the pyramid, I guess.
Yes, and if you are deemed important enough to not make mad because you got scammed, like if you're the regular person, retail investor investing in Bernie Madoff, you might not get any returns whatsoever. But if you're the Wilpons, who are very affluent and very influential in New York,
Yeah.
it was it made the scheme work better if you did not have to
Don't rock the
worry
boat.
about keeping them quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't rock the boat. I feel you.
So they actually made out okay on this. The problem was They were coming off of a relatively okay season, 83 losses, like not great, not terrible. And they thought that they could weather the storm since they came out okay. But as you can see in this screenshot of the roster on the right-hand side, you can see that there are definitely some areas where this roster needs to improve.
Yeah, like yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Jose Reyes and David Wright, the only people that can stay. Everybody,
Angel Pagan with a Linsanity run.
yeah, yeah, he did. That is a great comparison. I hate that I found somebody who does comparisons better than. Ugh.
And
Yeah.
the nice thing was that Carlos Beltran was going to be back to full health. He only played half of the 2010 season, so the theory was we can reinvest in this roster and try and make a push because if you remember, this was after the Phillies run and before the Braves and Nats.
Okay.
So
Then
the
you,
NL East was open.
yeah, and then you got Johan Santana, R.A. Dickey was still giving you good innings with the
Yeah.
knuckleball. Francisco Rodriguez wasn't a scrub. Like this was it had the bones, right?
Yes.
It
So
had
it
the
just
bones.
it needed to be fleshed out a little bit, right?
Yeah, it had the bones. I this ain't terrible, but it's the Mets, so they can have they they can have anybody. They can
So
have yeah, and
as you can
Mark.
see, as you can see, they fired Omar Minaya on October 4th, 2010.
Who did they hire? Was that Willie Randolph?
We will get to him in just a second because
Okay,
he
my
did
bad.
not know what he was getting into.
Okay, okay, my bad, my bad. I'm putting the cart before the horse.
Yep, because in between the GM getting fired and the new GM getting hired, ooh, they got sued.
Oh, wow. Mets on fire back. Why should we have known when the SEC different didn't?
Yep.
Touche. I love that. Hey man, the people who's supposed to be looking don't know. Why should I know? The owners of the Mets willfully turned a blind eye to indications that millions of dollars in investments with long-term friend Bernard. I love when they put your real name. Bernard Madoff were part of what turned out to be the biggest fraud scheme in Wall Street history. Court documents released today allege. First of all, Wall Street history is just amazing that you're in infamy. The documents a 370 plus page complaint filed by the trustee representing the victims of Madoff, now infamous. Exactly.
Yeah.
Ponzi scheme alleged that Sterling Equities, an investment firm run in part by Mets owner Fred and Jeff Wilpon, were told by an investment partner that Madoff's numbers were too good to be true, but the company was in too deep to do anything but ignore the gathering clouds.
So we were just talking about how this team just needed a little bit more.
Yeah,
What this lawsuit did was essentially tie up almost all of the Wilpons' money
really?
because you had to obviously pay for expensive lawyers and expensive legal counsel, as well as that money could not just be spent and transferred out of the Wilpons' name to avoid liability.
Yeah.
So heading into free agency in 2011, the situation for the Mets was kind of dire.
Mm, that's how you end up with these guys. Also,
So
or
two
not with these guys.
So, we thought pitching would help, a little bit of outfield, first base, and catcher.
Yes.
So, pitcher Cliff Lee was on the market, outfielder Jason Worth, Carlos Pena, Russell Martin. They were all on the market, and the Mets could not go out and get any of them.
Cliff Lee, one of my favorite pitchers of all time. That's when he ended up with the Phillies.
Yes.
Jason Worth went to the Nats.
Yes.
Russell Martin ended up with the Yankees, right?
This is when he went to the Yankees.
And then Pena went where?
He went
So I
to
don't remember where he went.
I believe he went to oh my goodness.
Hmm.
He didn't go to Pittsburgh. He didn't go. I think he went out west. I think he went to the Dodgers actually.
Sound about right. That sounds about right.
So the
But
the Mets were in kind of a tough spot where they couldn't go out and acquire any real free agents. And that's where we meet Sandy Alderson and Terry Collins.
oh, Terry Collins.
Yes.
I forgot about him.
So Terry Collins, Terry, you got to give us our shot, Collins. And Sandy Alderson, who had done a lot of really good work with the A's and the Padres, were left essentially with like no budget to operate.
Left holding the bag with no money in it.
Exactly. And so this ended up being a very, very tough offseason as displayed. And like Terry Collins, great manager. Sandy Alderson, pretty good general manager, but they couldn't rescue this. So this is the
I'm gonna be honest with
2011 Mets free agent class, and you have their total wins above replacement with the Mets in the second column.
I'm gonna be honest with you. These a bunch of Jags, bro. Just another guy. Just another guy. When you got the brother of somebody, is that Clay
I think that's Clay
Buchholz?
Buchholz's brother. Yes.
Yeah, when you start going into that, yeah, man, these Jags, man. I don't know these people. I like
You,
to think that I'm knowledgeable. I'm trying to come on,
you
man.
have Moneyball hero Jason Isringhausen, one of the
Oh,
players that Billy Beane had to let go.
ah, okay. Okay.
And you can see Chris Capuano and Tim Burdack are kind of in different colors. That's because they were the only two that Baseball Reference lists as actual starters for this team. Everyone else was not a starter for the 2011 Mets.
Look at all the did not plays. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. 10 of them didn't play.
These were all guys that did not even make an appearance with the big league squad.
God almighty.
These
Gee.
guys were helping to fill out the Brooklyn Cyclones or the
Yo,
Syracuse Mets or
I never thought I'd feel sorry for the Mets. And this is past tense, so I shouldn't even care. But it's actually amazing that they won the amount of games they won.
it was a miracle.
Hey, Terry Collins, man, you deserve more love, man.
He managed his ass off this year because this is your Mets on clawback lawsuits.
Jeez. Jeez, man. Hey,
Yeah.
like I say, Jose Reyes went in there and did his job though. 337, nothing to sneeze at. Daniel Murphy, 320. We got a young Justin Turner.
Yes, this is like very young Justin Turner.
Yeah, man. 26. Got David Wright batting fifth, which is crazy to think about now.
I
Jason
think
Bay.
this is just positional, so I don't think that's not the
Okay,
actual
okay.
batting order, thankfully.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. Then Jason Bay, Angel Pecan. Yeah, man, this is tough. R.A. Dickey's the top of your rotation, which think about it, 2011 wasn't bad, but
No, but it
you
wasn't great
never,
either.
yeah, you never want a knuckleballer as your ace. Like if a knuckleballer gets hot through the season, that's cool, but I don't think I want you to be my day one starter.
He's their only pitcher with an ERA plus above 100 and more than one win above replacement.
Yeah, everybody else ERA is four. The lowest, the next lowest is 4.40.
Yeah. Ugh.
Just Chinese. So, oh my God, these pitchers are getting the hell up out of here.
So
Jeez.
you can see Capuano and Burdack on there. Those are the only two new additions that they had from the free agent market. So it was a 37-year-old reliever and a 32-year-old starter. It was rough.
Tough times, man. Tough times. But that's the Mets for you. Uh-huh.
And so all of this culminated in just a very mid baseball team. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you were better than the Marlins,
yeah,
whatever that's worth. And like actually having like a juggernaut in your division, like the Phillies,
right.
that couldn't help
The
at all.
Phillies, after losing Cliff Lee,
Yeah. Like
ended up
that.
being a juggernaut. You'll also see that this team had a 531 winning percentage on the road and only won 42% of their games at home.
Oh my God. What was going on in well, City Field was fucking huge, bro.
Yes, this was before they moved the fences in.
Like
This was
City
like
Field was ridiculous. Like, I don't know who thought about that, but you still should win more at home. I mean, it is your home field. That's the point of advantages. Um, May and June, I know that gave people hope.
they were feeling it.
Like May and June, May, even into July a little bit. I know they was like, okay, we got a chance. And
I'm glad you bring that up because we have to bring up what happened at the end of July. So they
oh,
just strung together 3 straight months of plus 500 ball, right?
yep,
So they're in orange on this graph. You can see that they're firmly in third around the end of July and kind of starting to try and gain, right?
yep.
So you got your top four players on the 2011 Mets.
Okay.
You've got a pretty decent year. You've got a bit of a down year from David Wright, but everyone else is kind of, and everyone here is playing above average.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they traded Carlos Beltran at the deadline.
Oh, why?
One of their two all-stars, he was a pending free agent, and so they wanted to
Just want the
deal
money.
him. And since this was an odd year, when he went to the San Francisco Giants, they didn't actually win a title.
Oh yeah. I know Beltran, like, damn it. You go 2012, you get a chip.
Well, he ended up doing it pretty okay for himself because in 2012 he was on the Cardinals at the peak of their Devil Magic era.
First of all, devil magic is hilarious.
Yes.
A little bit. A little witchcraft and wizardry, but hey, shout out to Carlos Beltran, man.
So as you can see, everyone except Jose Reyes got much better in 2012.
They did, yeah.
This
Uh,
was the Cy Young year for R.A. Dickey.
gotcha. Gotcha. David Wright became the Mets legend that we know him to be.
Yes.
Carlos Beltran, like you said, a little magic, little little Cardinals magic.
A little Cardinals magic.
Is that a little hate you being a Kansas City guy?
Oh my goodness. Carlos Beltran should have had a statue in Kauffman.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And
If
Jose Reyes was off in Miami in a future episode of this series.
well, oh, I might have to come back for that.
Yeah, I was gonna have you and Ahmed on for that.
Jose Reyes. Hey man, you go to Miami, you get paid. No shame in your game going down, man. I'm just saying, there's a lot of distractions down there, especially being a Latino millionaire. I
Yeah.
get, I get it. I'm no shame in Jose Reyes. No slander for me, man. It's a team going nowhere fast.
Well, and the other part is they traded Carlos Beltran and got Zach Wheeler as the return from San Francisco.
What?
Yes, this was how the Mets got Zach Wheeler.
Wow. Well, all's well that ends well, even though you couldn't keep him, and he
Right.
walked
And
to an
they
event.
never were really able to capitalize on Zach Wheeler in the same way that Philly has. So like this was all just losing, losing, losing because if they had Jose Reyes and Carlos Beltran with the years that Dickey and Wright had, this team could have been really good.
Yeah, real good. But I want you to say it with me, man. The Mets are gonna Met it.
The Mets will Met.
They'll Met it every chance they get, man.
Meet the Mets. Great.
Yes. Yeah, the Mets. They're gonna lose. Mm,
So you can see from the 2012 Mets, there's a lot of growth in areas that they really struggled in 2011.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got a Cy Young winner. You get the improvement of David Wright. Lucas Duda was a guy, not just a guy, as like the whole 2011 team or free agent class was. Uh, Ike Davis was straight. Daniel Murphy,
Yep.
Ruben Tejada.
Shout out Ruben Tejada, man.
Ruben Tejada, man. Johan Santana, that arm was getting a little dead though.
It was struggling a little bit, but
Yeah.
man, a serviceable Ike Davis year, like
Yeah. Yeah.
that bought him like 4 years of burn with the Mets that he really didn't warrant.
Yeah. But hey, you get 32, excuse me, 32 home runs, 90 RBIs. Jesus, man, no one used to steal bases.
No, yeah, this was not a fast team.
David Wright led the team in stolen bases. He had 15. God almighty.
Lucas Duda wasn't going to steal them for you.
No, nope, he wasn't. Ricky Henderson's not walking through that door, guys. But
No, and the closest thing they had, they let go to are the future episode, the 2012 Miami Marlins.
the good old Jose Reyes, man.
Andres Torres, like, that's a decent 34-year-old center field season.
Yeah, where we at?
At the
Seventh?
seventh spot,
Okay, yeah. Bad 230, 52 walks. Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I mean, he's not bringing the bat, so 1.5 WAR just that has to be
That's all
defense.
defense. That's all defense. Yeah. He's definitely not bringing them back because holy shit, Jason Bay batted 165.
Yuck.
Okay, just for context, like this is a let me give me a second, dudes, for the audience. Bro, this is 2012. Okay.
Yep.
In 2025, you might be it's not as crazy to see 165. But in 2012, you batting 165. I'm surprised he's on the roster.
That was like articles of impeachment back
Yeah.
in like 2012 if
Yeah,
you
you
batted
can.
165.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't DFA. You know what I'm
Whew.
saying? Like, because even like back then, 227 for Ike Davis was terrible, but the home runs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the home runs. But bro, you batting 165 and you only got 8 dingers. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus.
And this was one of the great, like, where on earth did that come from seasons from 37-year-old R.A. Dickey. Like,
Yes.
my God.
He captured the league, bro. Like, yeah, 2.73 ERA and a workhorse. Look at the innings, bro.
Right.
233 and 2/3 innings.
Well,
That is
you can
wow.
see the bold. He led the league in innings, led the
Yeah.
league in strikeouts as a knuckleballer.
As a knuckleballer, man. But I think that was the thing that really captured the league is like it was lightning in a bottle. You know, it was really lightning
Yeah.
in the bottle. And this is like the turn of when like everybody was throwing hard, starting to throw hard. So
Yep.
I can imagine how off balance you were on that fifth day of seeing R.A. Dickey throwing 65.
Oh,
It's like, what is going on right now?
yeah. I mean, this Mets team had a chance to be very good, but obviously with the financial constraints, they
Yeah,
could not re-sign Jose Reyes and Carlos Beltran.
it makes sense now. Like now, that's something I didn't pay attention to. Of like, oh, they don't got no money. Like they really don't have any money. Like owners are real deal. Like, bro, I don't have it.
Right, because the courts are literally telling them you cannot spend this money because it might be restitution.
Yeah. So like, hey man, here goes the IOU. As long as I owe you, you never be broke, guys. Sorry. Sorry.
And you can see, like, it was a very similar year after 2011. They basically did the same thing over.
He said mid harder.
Yep.
Mid harder. Well, at least they sucked on the road and at home.
And remember how I was saying the NL East was kind of getting opened up? Yeah, Steven Strasburg and Bryce Harper happened this year.
Mm, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, and then
Yep.
it's 81-81 because they've lost everybody, right? Jason Worth's gone. Ryan Howard's gone to injury, probably, I'm thinking.
Yep.
Um, Pitching staff's getting older. Cause that was Jamie Moore's last stop, right?
Yes, it was. That was Jamie Moyer's last stop. That was D. Gordon's dad's last stop. That was
Yeah.
Flash Gordon's last stop.
So yeah, man. Yeah, a big missed opportunity.
And then the Braves, they got a very good first baseman named Freddie Freeman, and so that door closed too.
And remember they had Jason Hayward at the same time.
This was Jason Hayward. This was his first year. This was when everyone was like, "Oh my God, he is going to be the greatest of all time."
Yeah. defensive purposes only. But
Yep.
but once again though, look at the similarity. Like May and June, they're like, all right, guys, we're rocking. And then something happens like when the summer becomes the summer, the Mets just be like, it's too hot, bro.
Look at that July.
Yo, that July is that's where the season's lost. Yeah, because
They
it's winning. They April, May, June, they are winning percentage. July, something happens.
I mean, the first half, second half says it all. Like, that's a playoff team in the first half.
Yeah. The second half is the worst team in baseball. One of the worst teams in baseball. I haven't looked at everybody, but geez.
3-7 in extra inning
I just
games,
rolled over to look at that. Yeah.
and just like they
Geez.
couldn't win their division. They couldn't
Uh,
win against the
game.
opponents in their division.
Yeah. I mean, everything is a losing record except interleague play.
Right.
They better not have won the series against the Yankees that year.
We will that will I'll put a note up there if they did.
Let's please don't. Please don't. Let's just leave that. Actually, edit that's question out just in case they did beat. Let's relax on that, man. I love mid too, though. Mid harder.
This was just mid baseball. This was like very much like, well, we have the guys we have.
Yeah. This is what you're gonna get, guys.
But this actually did kind of help the Mets because they hired Sandy Alderson, who
Okay.
was in Oakland working with a small budget.
Mm,
So, what do you do when you can't spend any money?
you scout.
You scout and develop.
You scout and develop, yeah.
And
So
my God, did they scout and develop?
yeah. Yeah, Cespedes. First of all, the shot in the arm that Cespedes gave that team
Yes.
before they went to the World Series, I don't think that should be studied. Like I don't think people realize what they got with him. Um, Batman, Batman got he loved New York too much though.
He did. He had a little too much Dwight Gooden and not enough Dr. K. But I mean, in the top
Niggas is
left,
fun. They say you see Harvey stumbling out the club at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, bro, you pitching like 6 hours.
whew,
Like, what are you doing?
studio 543 double play.
I'm telling you, man. Um, that's the year that is that the same year that the Royals had that crazy ass wild card game, like that
Yes, this was the
XP.
game against the A's.
I'm gonna give you a little, and I know we're talking about the Mets, but seeing the Royals, bro.
What a great year for Kansas City. That was like,
Oh yeah, yeah. But
and
look,
then you can see in 20 that picture up in the top left is from 2016, their rotation, and
God Almighty, you got Harvey, Thor, um, DeGrom. Who we got there? Wheeler. Who's that between DeGrom and Wheeler?
that's the guy that I actually had the most faith in and I thought was going to be the best. That's Steven Matz.
Well, you were wrong.
I was dead wrong, but like you could not tell me that Steven Matz was not gonna be so good. I have a thing for like low 90s lefties that generate ground balls, and like Steven Matz is my jam.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. DeGrom, freaking DeGrom. I wish Thor could have stayed healthy. Syndergaard was great.
If he stayed healthy, if they could have gotten the most out of Zach Wheeler, if Matt Harvey had stayed on the straight and narrow, like they did everything they could with those five. Like you
Yeah,
can't get better starting pitching
oh,
development than
not at all.
that.
Not at all. Matt Harvey should have been in a small market. Matt Harvey should have been a Tampa Bay Ray.
No, Matt Harvey would have not made it to Major League Baseball in Tampa.
Also true.
That's a Milwaukee Brewer if I've ever
There
seen
you
it.
go. Ah, it's too much beer.
Okay,
You know? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Maybe Arizona. Who knows?
Yeah, that's an Arizona Diamondback. And
There we
then
go. Yeah. Maybe
in
Arizona, man.
in the bottom left, you can see the in my opinion, the real tragedy of this story outside of like the whole Madoff scheme. It's that David Wright was not really ever able to capitalize on this groundswell.
Yeah, man. Dare I say, like, if they would have put the team around him in place, top five Met ever.
I'd say he's going to Cooperstown.
Yeah. Yeah. If you put the team success with what he was doing, he probably would end up in Cooperstown.
And this was the play where he tried to tag Carlos Lee and ended up hurting his back. And David Wright was never really the same after this. This was where the injuries started, and he spent about 4 years trying to work himself back and just wasn't able to get it done.
Yeah, it got sad. Like
It was
it,
brutal
it
at the end.
like after a while you seeing people like trying to make that comeback and it's just like I applaud it because I get it. No one wants to go out like that. But then it gets to the point of like, man, just just go out gracefully, man. Like this is looking bad out here.
Yeah, and you have to commend the Mets for almost making this work.
Yeah, they did. I mean, if you think about the quick 4 years is a quick turnaround from not having any money in
Right.
a league without a salary cap to putting together a World Series team. Like, you know what I'm saying? They lost, but they made it to the World Series.
If the power of friendship had not gotten in the way in Kansas City, this Mets team I think steamrolls through.
Yeah. Yeah, Kansas City was literally, I've said this about R.A. Dickey, but Kansas City definitely was lightning in a bottle. And their small ball, oddly enough, was just too much for the whole league. Like nobody was ready for the small ball of Kansas City.
No, no one was ready for it.
Like if anybody got on base, they were wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I remember, man. Them wreaking freaking havoc. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing that graphic, I forgot Johnny Cueto has a chip.
Lynn sanity of mid, like ascending from okay to godly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I forgot
But
about Johnny Cueto.
the 2011 Mets, like this thing was really doomed before it ever started.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was doomed from 2010, and I would have not even have thought about that. And like I say, when you mentioned the 2011 Mets, my only thought was, oh, that was all right.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was
like I looked, like I say, I instantly went to baseball reference. It's like, this isn't terrible. You know, I see
right.
Beltran in there. I see young David Wright. I see Justin Turner. Like I'm looking, I'm like, well, how bad could this be? But they were bad from circumstances.
Yeah,
I
and
like the angle.
ultimately, the Wilpons did not have to end up giving $1 billion to victims of the Madoff scam. They ended up settling, and then the number slowly got chipped away until it was a low sum. I don't want to say the exact number if you're getting it wrong, but
Yeah,
it ended up being very financially harmful for the Wilpons, but not nearly enough to make the Madoff victims whole. So
yeah, for
no
sure.
one was happy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Do you think, and this speculation, and you think the Wilpons were in the dark, man? Even in the beginning, like, do you think they were in the dark in the beginning? I know at some point they knew, like, come on now, when it's too good to be true. You
About
feel
a
me?
month ago, I would say yes.
Okay.
But after the whole saga of apparently Steve Ballmer not knowing,
All right, Deuce.
they might not know. But no, I,
Yo, yeah, okay. Me, you, yeah, we got to get on because we got to talk. We got to talk Kawhi bullshit.
we,
So,
I think the Wilpons they were trying to make hay while the sun was shining, while the market was good.
yeah,
and I think they did not want to ask the wrong questions.
I can roll with that.
Why look a gift horse in the mouth if you're getting those returns? I can't necessarily like I see the logic behind that. I think there was so much litigation around it. If there was concrete evidence that they knew, it probably would have come out, but I think they
Yeah,
knew not to ask.
I can roll with that. I can roll with that. That's
And
how.
what this ended up doing was it put the Wilpons in such a poor financial state, even with the reduced settlement, that it opened the way up for Steve Cohen.
Who has more money than God, as some people would say. Like, and he's shelling it out.
The limited free agents that they did sign were like they were able to afford those from the initial sales to Steve Cohen along with a couple other Mets investors. But the like Steve Cohen started as like a 2% owner.
Mm,
So this like the Steve Cohen Mets are not just like him showing up in like 2019 being like, "Hey, I'm here to spend all the money."
yeah.
Like he was the money behind this starting almost 15 years ago.
Oh wow. See, that's why I'm glad I'm here. Deuce, Deuce teaches.
Yes, on the journey of discovery of like because the thesis of this series is that it's often not the players.
And I liked it. And you want to know what's crazy? Just did a boxing show earlier today. And I think that is normally the thing with sports. With like if the fans aren't getting what they want out of sports, it's normally not the athlete. It's the
Right.
powers that be. Because the athlete don't want to do nothing but what they've been doing since they were 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the powers that be, they're effing stuff up at the top and
Hmm.
messing with the product on the field.
Right.
So this was pretty good because I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you said bad baseball teams, I'm looking for 100 lost teams.
Yep.
Where's the 60 to 100 teams? Where are the teams with 95 losses, 90 losses? I just knew 2024 White Sox was coming up.
I think there's such organizational malfeasance there that I think we will have to cover them and we will have a couple Rockies teams. I think this hat is going to be my official hat of the series.
There you go.
But I'm interested in like what if it like this often aren't like these aren't the players more often than not. Like is that 2015 roster in New York more talented than the KC roster? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But when you've got the right people in place and you know that the organization is willing to do what it needs to do to make the team competitive, it does have a competitive boost. Like I don't doubt for a second that some of their performance was depressed by the fact that everything felt like it was falling apart.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But this like this series has been ruminating in my brain because I wanted to talk about Bobby Bonilla and I wanted to talk about this whole thing, and
But
so
that just hey, that just makes sense, man. And like you say, it people have a taste of why it's deferred to the game, your
yeah.
love for Bobby Bonilla, but also your understanding of the Mets are gonna met it.
the
All right. The Mets are gonna met it. I think that's gonna give me some time. I think that might have to be my gift to you. So that could be in your background somewhere that says
yes.
Mets are gonna met. You know, we can put it somewhere over there.
Exactly. But Tony, thank you so much for coming on this journey of discovery about the Mets with me.
Hey man, any education I'm down for. Sports education I'm down for 2 times a day. All right. 2 times a
Absolutely.
day. So I
And
thank you for having me on, man. Like this was actually cool being like on the other side of this.
absolutely. Tony, where can people find you?
Oh man, Talking Game one on Instagram because they some haters. Um, uh, Talking Game on Twitter, everything, man. My YouTube channel, Tony Talking Game. If you're looking at the app for it, so yeah, man, I'm dropping stuff every day. A lot of content, rocking with Deuce. So
Yes, sir.
hey, man, wherever you find him, you can find me because I'm tethered to this guy, man.
Birds of a feather, man.
Yep, for sure.
But looking forward to having you on again. I'm looking to get you and Ahmed on for the 2012 Marlins. I think that's gonna be even more fun because I get to
So
talk
it's
about my arch nemesis, David Sampson.
yes, man. And now I know the angle, so now I'm gonna do a little research myself. Even though like I'm ready to hear you and Aquaman like go. Y'all two are gonna. I'm ready to hear it. I'm not. That's it. I'm just ready to hear it. Like I say, I'm here for the education.
Exactly. But thank you so much. And to the viewers, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time.
Yep,
Whenever
yep,
you're watching this, I hope you're doing well and I hope you have a great day.
yep. Subscribe to Defer the Game.
Thank you. Subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what team you want to see next. I know we have the 2012 Marlins coming up, but if you have a team you'd like to see us discuss, we will get to it.
Yep, yep.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.